do that. We're live.
Right.
Again?
No. I'm going to call the regular meeting order. Is now 7 o'clock. Requirement of the sunshine law have been met. This meeting was advertised in the Burlington County Times on January 7, 2024. Electronic notice was given pursuant to the NJAC 5:39-1.5. We will now wait on the Pledge of Allegiance for our special member, our principal that's still in our heart. Come on up here.
Our
Have a
deputy
seat.
mayor. Our principal that's still in our heart.
It's right here. Seat for you.
I'm glad you're here.
Well, don't sit down. You got the Pledge of Allegiance. You ready? Huh? You sure? Yeah. I didn't get your hand up. That's a jet. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You will now have a moment of silence. Roll call.
Committeewoman Berkeley?
Present.
Committeeman Carr?
Present.
Committeewoman Mungo?
Present.
Committeewoman Wright? Mayor Henley?
Present.
Also present, Township Solicitor, Township Administrator Clerk, Police Chief, and Fire EMS Chief.
We will now read the proclamation for Martin Luther King Day Jr., for Martin Luther King Jr. Day, excuse me. Whereas Dr. Martin Luther King devoted his life in advancing equality, social justice, and the opportunity for all, and challenged all Americans to participate in the never-ending work of building a more perfect union, and whereas Dr. King's teachings can continue to guide and inspire us in addressing challenges in our community, and whereas the King Holiday and Service Act enacted in 1994 designated the King Holiday as a national day of volunteer service and challenged the corporation of national and community service with lending this effort, and whereas since 1994, millions of Americans have been inspired by the life and work of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. to serve their neighbors and communities on the King Holiday, and whereas serving on the King Holiday is an appropriate way to honor Dr. King, meet local and national needs, bring our citizens together, and strengthen our communities and nation. And whereas the King Day of Service is the only federal holiday commemorated as a national day of service and offers an opportunity for Americans to give back to their communities on the holiday and make an ongoing commitment to service throughout the year. And whereas King Holiday of Service projects are being organized by a wide range of nonprofit and community organizations, educational institutions, public agencies, private businesses, and organizations across the nation. And now, therefore, the West Hampton Township Committee does hereby proclaim Monday, January 15, 2024, as Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and commend its observation through participation in the Day of Service. Approval of minutes. December 19, 2023, executive session minutes.
So moved, Berkeley.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Berkeley?
Yes.
Carr?
Yes.
Mungo? Yes. Mayor Henley?
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0.
December 19, 2023, regular meeting minutes.
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion?
I'd like to clarify something, Mayor. I know that we don't have a transcript of what happened, but when I was looking at the minutes, I had talked about the new handbook and the procedure in the cell phones. I want to make it clear I was not recommending that we buy cell phones for all the employees. That would be a huge expense. But what I was saying is that we have several employees, especially Public Works fire, police, EMTs that do not work, recreation, that do not work in the building and use their cell phones. We are very fortunate they're willing to use their cell phones when they need to get information and do things. So my recommendation was that we look at that and allow people when they need to do business based on their job and not just any kind of thing that personal, yes, we can cut that down, but if it relates to their job, they should be able to use their cell phones. And that was my point, not to buy cell phones for everybody. We can't afford that.
Point taken.
Also, the same with marijuana. Yes, it's true that I said we don't need to have anybody working when they're high on marijuana or have the drugs, but my point also was there are ways of testing that we need to be careful of. You could test someone's hair, and the marijuana they had 3 or 4 weeks ago would still be test positive in their hair. Blood is longer. They could be very much working and not be under the influence, but come up with a positive test if we don't carefully go through how we test them, and we need to be fair. And that, just wanted to clarify what I meant by those things.
Does it designate how we test them or no?
Excuse me?
Does it designate how we test them?
No.
Okay. Roll call.
Barclay.
Yes?
Carr.
Yes.
Longo. Yes. Mayor Henley.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0.
January 2nd, 2024, reorganization meeting minutes. We have a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Barclay.
Yes?
Carr.
Yes.
Longo. Yes. Mayor Henley.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0.
Monthly reports, we have construction, police, public works, court, fire, EMS, and tax collector. We will now open the meeting for public comment on agenda items only. Please remember to state your name and address for the record. And remember, this is for comment only. All in favor of the close?
Aye.
Aye.
Ordinances, first reading, 1-2024, an ordinance amending Chapter 250 of the Township Code of West Hampton zoning. Do you have a motion?
I'll make a motion to amend Chapter 250 of the Township Code.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Barclay.
Yes?
Carr.
Yes.
Longo. Yes. Mayor Henley.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0.
2-2024, an ordinance of the Township of West Hampton to fix the salaries, wages, and compensation of certain officials and employees of the Township of West Hampton for the years of 2024 to 2025. Do we have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion?
Yes, I'm glad we're getting these now, so if we need to amend something, we don't have to go back and have the first reading again. If our clerk/administrator has the numbers, I noticed that the assistant tax collector, which is in the union, is not in here. It's a new job. It's probably easy to forget to put that in, but because we get audited on this, I would like to amend to add that, but I'm not sure if we have the numbers for that tonight. I would hate to put it on and not be able to pass it.
There is no one in the building that holds that title.
Assistant tax collector?
Yes, ma'am.
I thought we had been told that.
No?
Okay, we will talk about that later. Thank you.
Roll call?
Barclay.
Yes?
Carr.
Yes.
Longo. Yes. Mayor Henley.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0.
Resolutions 25-24, payment of vouchers. This resolution approves the payment of bills through 1/16/2024. Do we have a motion?
So moved?
Second.
Any discussion?
Nope.
Roll call?
Barclay.
Yes?
Carr.
Yes.
Longo. Yes. Mayor Henley.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0.
Consent agenda items consent agenda resolutions. Consent agenda items are considered to be routine and will be enacted with a single motion. Any items requiring expenditure are supported by a certification of availability of funds. Any items requiring discussion will be removed from the consent agenda. Is there anything that we wish to remove, or anyone wishes to remove?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
I'd like to remove 26-24. I make a motion to approve 24, 27 through 33.
I'll second the motion.
Oh, I'm sorry, hold on. Hold on.
Any discussion? Roll call?
Barclay.
Yes?
Carr.
Yes.
Longo? Yes. Mayor Henley?
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0.
Motion to approve 26-24, resolution to appoint Land Development Board Secretary. Do we have a motion?
Motion. Second?
Any discussion? Roll call?
Berkeley?
Yes?
Carr?
Abstain.
Longo? Yes. Mayor Henley?
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0-1.
Open meeting for public comment. Please remember to state your name and address for the record. This particular section is for comment only. Almost, almost got you.
Good evening.
Yeah.
Robert Fernholtz, 19 Philcrest Drive, West Hampton. Just checking in on the fence ordinance for Spring Meadows, if anything is being done with that. I know we've talked about the last couple of meetings. The ordinance got pushed at the end of 2023. It was going to get reintroduced in 2024, so I'm just checking the status of that.
I think we're still working on it.
Still working on it?
Yeah, we had some questions, so.
Okay.
Didn't we pass it first reading tonight?
That's this one. It's on the...
We passed the first reading, but we didn't do, right.
We just introduced it.
Yeah, we just introduced it.
Okay.
So it
With
will
the,
public...
with the changes involved, we didn't finalize it, but we
Right.
just introduced it today.
So it
Great.
was reintroduced. It'll be a public document as of tomorrow.
Awesome, great. Thank you very much.
My apologies if I was, sorry. All in favor to close public comment?
Aye.
Dates to remember. Next township meeting is February the 6th at 7 p.m. Historic Commission, February 28th at 7 p.m. Land Development Board meeting is February the 7th at 7 p.m. Recreation Committee meeting is February the 14th at 7 p.m. Note, free rabies clinic was rescheduled for February 17th, 2024. We have the administrator report.
I just wanted to extend a public thank you to our Director of Public Works, Chris Taylor. I think he did a fantastic job making sure that all of the roads in West Hampton were properly plowed. His team did a wonderful job. All of the employees really kicked in and did what they needed to do to keep West Hampton safe and clean for all the residents. And I can tell you by comparison to the township that I live in, West Hampton was 100 times better than my township. So I want to just say a huge thank you to our Public Works Department and everything that they did.
Thank you. Committee liaison reports and comments.
I agree about Public Works. They did a fantastic job, and unfortunately, it was not one of those snows that came in 3 hours and left. It snowed from 9 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock one morning till 9, whatever it was almost a day. And they've come back several times, and then they salted several times. And the comments on Facebook were absolutely wonderful. They get a lot of support from the residents, and I just also want to thank them. They did a great job. Rancocas Valley High School has an environmental club, and they are collecting single-use plastic bags to turn in and recycle and turn them. I know that they turn them into things like park benches and things. I was wondering, I did not actually call them until I talked to you, but I'm wondering if we could support that and maybe have a container in our lobby that people could bring their single-use bags in, and then we can help RV. Maybe even Jamie, when she talks to the superintendent, could get the middle school out, and they could feel like they're helping our environment. That would be really good. So that's about it. Thank you.
Do we have so question, that's a New Jersey law. Do we have other stores outside that will help us, that we can get help from? Maybe how ShopRite is in New Jersey, but they may be able to get bags for the school like that.
Oh, I don't know. In New Jersey, they
All
don't
the
even get
grocery
bags.
stores have those recyclable places to bring your bags, like your used bags and stuff, too. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, more or less. I was just trying to think outside the box. Thank you, Jamie, for helping. What about you?
No, I don't have any comments, but I do want to echo Public Works. You know, I was out there shoveling myself, and just the streets were great, and we went out early that day, and I again wanted to thank them for clearing and being so, as Nancy said, they came around multiple times, so thank you. That's all I have.
I also echo that on Public Works. They were out very early that morning, plowing and out through the evening plowing as well. I'd like to also extend that to our fire and police departments, as they were very busy on those icy roads with the accidents and people getting injured. So thank you.
Again, I don't know how much we can say it, but it was a lot of positive feedback through our community on the job that Public Works did, and EMS and fire, and just everyone working together as a team. And even I've seen neighbors help out other neighbors. So, neighborly being able to help out each other, especially if someone's not able to shovel or, or they don't have, as snow gets heavy, they don't have the machinery to be able to do it, but we do. So, as fellow neighbors to be able to help. Secondly, I had my comment actually is a question for the committee, because I wanted to make sure that we discussed it in open forum. The 200 Club sent out tickets to purchase. The 200 Club is for fallen police officers, fallen firefighters, and, I feel like we should be able to support them. My thoughts is that they have a table, the table would be $1,200. The table would allow both chiefs to come, which I think that you guys have been asked about. The committee is able to go as well. And then department heads, whoever department heads choose to go. Everyone's not obligated to go, but you can go. And that, would be the support, I think, that would show that the township is behind, not only from our guys, but the guys throughout the county and throughout South Jersey, New Jersey, et cetera. Now, what I would say is that we had funds set aside that we use for legal municipalities. Most of us have paid that ourselves. I think that we used $135, maybe $136 of that. And maybe using some funds that we set aside from that to buy the table and put toward something, something as good as fallen police officers and fallen firefighters, right? To contribute to them. So, I just wanted to know what you guys thought about that, and if you thought that made sense or no.
Mr. Mayor, I'm absolutely supportive of supporting our 200 Club. It's a long-standing organization in Burlington County. One of our fire department lieutenants, Vincent Knott, is a member there. I devote my full-fledged support to that organization and our member who's a member of that organization.
Anyone else?
I think it's a good idea. I just would like our legal eagles over there to talk about, are we allowed to donate money for nonprofit organizations?
We are. I talked about it before even coming up here.
Okay. I know the school board is not allowed to, but we are not the school board.
No.
I fully support it as well. I think it's a great idea.
I think that we continue to seek transparency, so I want to make sure that we brought that out, discussed it out in the open, and made sure that, and also that everyone knows that we are attempting to do what we can to support our guys. They all put their lives on the line every day for us, one way or another. And for the guys that didn't make it, they deserve as much support as all the guys who did make it for them before, after, and et cetera. So, thank you. I appreciate you guys' support.
Going along with that, we all said thank you to Public Works, but I think a thank you also needs to go to our emergency services who were out that day on 295 and 38 and all places. You had multiple calls, didn't you? And you were out in the snow, and you did a good job. Thank you. Probably our police, too.
So now we will go into resolution number 116, 2024. Resolution authorizing the Township Committee and staff support to meet in private session and authorizing the exclusion of the public from that portion of the meeting dealing with specific issue requiring non-public discussion, attorney-client privilege, property acquisition. Do we have a motion?
Motion. Second.
Any discussion? Roll call?
Berkeley?
Yes.
Carr?
Yes.
Longo? Yes. Mayor Henley?
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0.
Thank you.